Hi everyone, how are you? I'm sorry, I just don't say enough thank you to you all for stopping by, subscribing, commenting, sharing. It's really important. I just wanted to have a chat just about my own spiritual place. Doesn't mean I'm right, certainly doesn't mean I think anyone else should agree, and it certainly doesn't mean that I disrespect others' journeys and what they believe or what they don't believe. That's fine, but I'm down by my river, which is very near me. It's just over the border in Scotland. We had some fun here once on a live stream when I pretended I was trying to track down feral JWs. I know, like being silly, but I'm actually sat in the river. It's lovely, so clear. You won't be able to see today. It's very fast running today and deeper than usual. I'm just sat. And it's lovely, like if you're in pain and you've got this lovely pure water running, it's gorgeous. Lots of wildlife, no people. You might see a fish jumping. There can be otters, sand martins, kingfishers, swans. Sometimes a disturbed badger. I don't mean disturbed as in they're mentally distressed. I mean, been disturbed in the day. There's also here, it's a place for red squirrels. They're very endangered. They've been endangered a long time in the UK, taken over by their American counterparts, the grey squirrels, but this is a protected area for them. We don't see them here, but there are hides nearby where you can lay low and watch them. Now, I don't know if I'm sure this won't come out on the camera, but there's a glittery pattern of light up to the sun. I know that's going to be awful, so I'll move away again. It's about 6:20, late August here. We have, you can hear my legs swishing. Oh, it's just so lovely to feel that. There's little tiny fish that come up and nibble. There was a while back, there was all this thing, wasn't there, of people putting their feet in tanks to have fish nibble at them. You just get them here. Oh, there's one going now. If I stay still, there'll be loads coming. So funny. It's so tickly. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Let me keep still. Oh, I can feel it over there now. It's in my very white feet and legs. It used to be called bottles of milk because my legs were so white, isn't it? Sad, isn't it? Alright, so I was sat here. Sorry, I know I ramble. I was sat here, and you can't see it, but I mean, I know this little place so well, so I know where the sun, because it's late, I know where the sun's going to last the longest and where it hit me. So it's been a long time now, I'm exactly as I'm sat here in the path of the sun. And the water, if I don't have my sunglasses on, the water's really sparkling. It's really magical, like a special effect. If I put my sunglasses on, you can see the sun reflecting in smaller bits, but without my glasses, especially as my glasses are also prescription, it's like a really glittering effect. And I've been sat here in this for a long time, and it reminds me of a poem I loved when I was very young. At school we had to study the poems of Charles Causley. Me being a weirdo, there were songs of death, poems of death, and I got into it. But he had this series of poems, songs of innocence and experience, which have even more meaning for me now. And one of the poems, what was it? And it said, "The ship limped home in the path of the sun." And now that I'm such an old woman. Shh, don't tell anyone. I'm so old. I don't know how. I mean, there are going to be. Oh, we've got someone in the local cottage has got some chickens, and it seems the cock was having a little blast. I don't know if you can hear him. Anyway, what the heck was I saying? Oh, flip. Let me start again. Hang on. So the ship limps home in the path of the sun. I'm limping home. I am limping home. I'm limping back. Cock crews off again. Going, wake up! Wake up! It's the morning. No, it's not. It's evening. So no, wake up, girl. Wake up. I'm limping home. But even when it seems dark, I actually am limping home in the path of the sun. I was brought up as a Catholic. Oh, it was judgment. Going to be familiar with many of you. Judgment. Do this wrong, do that wrong. Hell, fire. You're going to blast forever and roast and I don't know. You'd have these demons would have like these toasting fork things and they poke them up your bum. Have you seen, any of you seen Hieronymus Bosch pictures? Have a look. Whoa, sick. Or if you read, I think it was a James Joyce book. I think it was Portrait of the Artist as a young man, and he goes on for pages. I read this as a kid. I was a weird kid. Pages of what this priest was telling them when they were kids of all the tortures in hell. Oh my goodness, it was huge fun. Yeah. Oh my goodness. There was always judgment and hatred, and I've said before I was brought up by this really judgmental, hating, punishment, dangerous guy, and that also represented God, our Father, etc. And you're going to relate to that, which is why I can relate to you guys. That sound is me swishing my legs. Oh, it's so cool. Lovely. As it gets later, if it gets cool here, then there'll be heat rising off the river. Oh, it's good. Wish you could all be here if you're stressed and have a chill. It'd be great with me. I don't know if you can see there's a bit of purple in the greenery. That's my mobility scooter. I know, the places it goes, eh? I couldn't get it this far though, so I had to stagger these feet. Anyway, that's for Roger Smith. He was as a chuckle at my scooter. How you doing, Roger, in your sports car? Hope you're enjoying it. When you're tired of it, just transport it over to me. I'll pay the import taxes. Anyway, gosh, do I digress. So yeah, religion, God, paternalism, caring. Here was judgment and punishment and watching, and the tiniest thing would incur the most dangerous infringements. That was what I knew. That's why I wasn't surprised when the J-Dub said that stuff, because that was all I knew. I was still very young. I didn't know anything else. It fitted with exactly what I knew, except they had some other nuances which seemed less horrible. But of course none of us would ever get the real story. But then I was led on other spiritual paths. It's been a long time because I'm a slow learner. And I had the shock where I didn't encounter judgment. I encountered patience, like absolute patience. Like you would with... Have you ever seen a 2-year-old child? Doesn't say much about me, but have you ever had a 2-year-old child that just throws a fit? I can't get what I want. And you just wait for them to exhaust themselves, because you'll get tired before I will, and you wait. Right. Now, here we go into reality, and at the beginning I was doing that. I was in a lot of pain, I was in a lot of questions, I'd felt ignored, and I was doing that. There was no judgment, it was just like, okay, we'll wait till you get it, and with mistakes, which I have too many of it, patience, you're learning, and I learned slowly, but you know, it's like, you are learning. It's still a very difficult concept for me, and I know it won't jive well with a lot of you. If you're like not the JW Christian, but certainly many types of Christians, it will come under... There's a sound there. There's some animal coming. Come under the aspect of grace, and certainly that word works for me. There's other things as well, but grace will so much encompass that, and the aspect particularly of grace, not works, but it's just there. That love, that grace, that acceptance, that waiting, that openness is there. And when I've, with having, get the tiny violins out again, but it's so hard when I do have such memories, really bad memories, right from being a baby before my eyesight was set. Certain horrible memories, and that went on. Worse things will have happened. Worse things, much worse things, I know will have happened to you. It's hard to understand love and grace because I was Excuse me? Well, if all that exists, where were you? Hello? You know, I was thrust my fist at the sky and have a rage. And you know what? I was entitled to do that. I was entitled to have that part of my process. Hang on, get a drink. Excuse me, that's better. I come prepared. No, we're entitled. It's a natural thing. But it's healthy to go through the stages of rage, questioning the pain, because that's from pain. And they're legitimate, and it's part of the learning curve. I've come to stages of acceptance. There's still so much more. Doesn't mean, oh, I've got it all sussed, and I know there's so much more. And I've gone through I've worked so hard. I can't tell you on the CPTSD stuff, which is the complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which I know so many of you have diagnosed or not. I know it's going to be there because of your upbringings, you know? I get it, and I try. It's very hard because one's brain has been adjusted and changed. That is for sure. If anyone else is enduring that, then do look up neuroplasticity. Every year there's new findings on that, about how they can retrain the brain, like reconnect it, make it work differently. I don't know, for people like me, maybe it's just too late. I'm still getting help. It's hard, and I've got really good people helping, and I've waited many years, and I've worked really hard just to get to this stage. It's hard. The spiritual thing has been overwhelming. It's so hard to explain. I'm talking about things that have been witnessed by other people. So it's not, oh, something was just in my head and that was fine. It's hard, and it doesn't matter if anyone else believes me. It doesn't matter if other people think I'm a banana head. That's fine. It is, and I'm grateful for it. I'm still a long way from what could be better. If I was trying to be kind to myself, well, yeah, hello. Yeah, hello, that's just how it is. You've done okay. Other people are fine with me, but I think many of us, including myself, many of us are harder on ourselves than we would ever be on others. So this ship limps home in the path of the sun. Sometimes she doesn't see where the sun is. She's like, oh, and she keeps limping home. And limping is fine. Limping is absolutely fine. Or going on your mobility scooter is fine. I did want to speak about the aspect of being raised up with love and acceptance. There's this elevation, and how that works with being humbled and humility. It's a weird thing. I have found that every time I am spiritually and with love accepted and raised up and not judged, I'm also humbled. It's so hard to describe. I'm sure some of you will get it, or many of you will get it. It's so humbling. It is so humbling to be accepted like that. You know, it's lovely and it's beautiful, but it doesn't make me have like this big head going, whoa, look at, ooh. No, it's humbling, that beauty of it. And it helps me sit a bit lower in my own arrogance. One of my problems has been arrogance, which my character flaw, that attracted me to the J-dubs. You know, that arrogance. It was a defense my own defense, I shall say. It was a defense mechanism, which I did need for a while. But underneath that outside arrogance, there has been an arrogance of the soul, which has had to be, well, I wanted it to be addressed, sorted a bit. Always been hard. I was going through a certain spiritual process with my best friend. We're very close, and you set your spiritual goals, and I said, I'd like my arrogance levels to be brought down. And she was like, well, you're not arrogant. You're about the least arrogant person I know. Well, I was like, no, the real inside arrogance of the soul. You know that thing of being careful what you wish for? Oh, it's been hard and painful. It's been so hard. And it continues to be. Oh, it hurts. It really, it so hurts, I can't tell you. And I really thought, I mean, I guess that had always been my ideal about things, that especially on a spiritual level, that when we're raised up, the more of a servant we become. That, you know, okay, there's a slightly different dynamic. But so in the J-dubs, I really thought that if someone was raised to a ministerial servant and then an elder and then circuit overseer, blah, 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 although we didn't really get to know about the governing body and all that sort of stuff in those days. I really did believe, because of, I have had, okay, whatever, the sense of service. I think this, you know, sense of service for me has been part of my programming and what I've believed in and wanted in certain ways. I really believed that if someone became a ministerial servant, etc., and above, that they became humbler. I really thought that. I know, and I'm sure for some it was like that. Like, I wouldn't judge everyone and say, well, everyone has been, you know, they then became this person or that person. No, I wouldn't say that. But from the last few years of learning and, you know, absorbing every bit of info I could about J-dubs, I am shocked that no, that doesn't happen. That there are some who go into extreme levels of arrogance and not listening, and a sense of elevation and entitlement and power. That has shocked me. And I was naive, and I was still naive when I was older, and still have been. You know, it's always a learning curve. Like, you know, so it has shocked me. Their elders, and you know, we keep seeing now with all these secret recordings, my gosh, they're not humble, they don't act with humility, and that is a shocking thing to me, you know. But, you know, I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, Hazel, you shouldn't judge, because you've been an arrogant asshole so many times. And then I inwardly cringe, you know. But hopefully I wasn't an arrogant arsehole in the way that you just cast people out. No. Anyway, so many elders are getting out, have got out. Some are still in and plotting they're getting out. So there is a chance for everyone can learn. What was it? Mike and Kim's video this week said there was a 90-year-old lady had left. Wow, can you imagine? You know, you're looking, you know, you're looking your maker or your death or whatever your belief is straight in the face at that. You've got so many loved ones already dead. So many of those, if not all, pretty much would be JWs. And you've stopped. That takes work. My goodness. Maybe we're back to the neuroplasticity. We can change our heads. But then, you know, this is all hearts. And when we were out on the doors, and the woman who's, you know, giving me my Bible studies and that, she said, no, we don't change, we don't convert people, we change hearts. So ex-JWs have been trained well. There is an intellectual aspect, of course, because that's when you get the cognitive dissonance. Like, whoa, I'm into one thing, and the courts and the evidence, and the old publications and the recordings are saying something entirely different. So it may start there. But I hope that people's hearts can repair and work, and, you know, you may think I'm a loony with my old beliefs. That's fine. So, you know, that's a lovely thing. You know, in the old days it was like everyone's got to believe by me, or, you know, but no. No. And there can be a respect. I'm not very good at the respect though. When J-Dubs come on and they slag off the CSA victims, I can't. I'm not good at that. I can't respect that. But if you're not believing anything anymore, great. That's fine. That is fine. As we all know, so many people that are like that and living damn good lives because we don't need rule books to do our best. We really, from our hearts, we know so much. So I just waffle. Sometimes, I mean, these videos aren't, loads of people aren't going to see them, but it feels honest. It feels honest to share these things with you, no matter how daft they may be. I'd like to be honest about stuff, so that's me. My Scottish river, just a little way from my home. It's a lovely, restful noise. That burbling. Aiming for things. I know there's this, what's the law of attraction? There's, but I found that aiming for things has worked. Oh, knowing that something's right. It was so many years ago and I was in hospital for months. Tiny violins again. I was in hospital for flaming months and I was in a room on my own and it was miles from anywhere, so and for friends to come and visit, it was hours and hours. It was really hard. I was damn sick. And someone brought me in a CD of which I put on of a bubbling brook, bubbling brook, hours of it. Oh, that was the thing. That was so good. And wow, here I am. Here is life has just kindly given me this. And when I moved, I didn't know this was right on the doorstep. They gave me. I know I'm a spoiled mo. I want everyone to be spoiled, but I know it's hard all the way, and I still got hard stuff. In reality, I've got really hard stuff. People go, how do you do it? But then, a million times over, there's all you and everyone else, and how do you do it? There's the stones underneath. Normally it's clearer, but it's so fast running, and there's quite a lot of silt at the bottom. It's not a dirty river. It's well managed, but I think it's the silt has stirred up, so it's not so clear. Well, sweeties, if you're still here, thank you for your time as always, and honestly, I do appreciate you coming by. Please do subscribe and like, because it just kind of helps with getting messages out, All right, love to everyone, and bye-bye on this late August summer evening in Scotland.